Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan greets the chairman of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina on the occasion of his country's National Day and the president of Suriname on his country's independence anniversary. His Highness Sayyid Yazid bin Haytham reviews with Prince William, Prince of Wales, friendship and cooperation relations between the Sultanate of Oman and the United Kingdom. A temporary truce comes into force in Gaza Strip and dozens of Palestinians are killed and wounded by Israeli raids hours before the truce took effect. And the Ukrainian forces confront Russian attacks on the city of Avdiivka, and Moscow shoots down Ukrainian drones over the Crimean Peninsula. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Zeljko Komšić, a chairman of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a similar cable to His Excellency Chan Santouchi, President of the Republic of Suriname, on his country's independence anniversary. His Royal Highness Prince William, Prince of Wales, received today evening His Highness Sayyid Yazid bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, in Windsor Castle. During the meeting, the friendship and the cooperation relations binding the Sultanate of Oman and the United Kingdom and means of strengthening them were reviewed. Also, matters of mutual concern were discussed. The humanitarian truce in Gaza Strip entered into force day today at exactly 7 o'clock local time in Palestine and will continue for 4 days. This truce is the first of its kind since the start of the violent Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip on the 7th of October. The agreement stipulates the exchange of 50 Israeli hostages in exchange for the release of 150 Palestinians imprisoned in Israel, mostly women and children, within the coming 4 days. However, the Israeli forces broke the truce, killing 2 Palestinians who were commuting back to the north of Gaza. As the ceasefire took hold in Gaza, the first aid shipment entered the Strip through the Rafah crossing border. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, stressed the need to take advantage of the temporary truce period to urgently distribute relief supplies, as about 200 trucks of relief aid will enter and 4 trucks carrying fuel that will be used to operate hospitals, generators, water facilities, shelters, and other services. The World Food Programme stated it has completed its preparations to provide aid to the Gaza Strip, noting that trucks loaded with food are waiting to enter the Rafah crossing. Just hours before the truce in the Gaza Strip enters into force, the Israeli occupation army stormed the Indonesian hospital in the northern Gaza Strip and fired intensely, killing many Palestinians and wounding others. The occupation aircraft also targeted an inhabited residential building in central Gaza, causing it to catch fire, killing a number of martyrs and wounding others, including children and women. Since the start of the Israeli aggression on Gaza on the 7th of last month, More than 14,800 people from Gaza have been killed and more than 36,000 have been injured. Most of them are women and children, while thousands of people are still missing. In southern Lebanon, a cautious calm prevailed in the southern border villages after Israeli bombing of a number of areas last night. With the start of the truce in the Gaza Strip, a calm prevailed in the villages located in the western and central sectors of the southern Lebanese border. According to Lebanese media sources, no bombing or military operations were recorded, and yesterday evening, Israeli artillery bombed the outskirts of a number of towns in the western sector on the border. The bombing targeted the towns of Al-Naqura, Al-Mashab, and Al-Dhahira and Jabal al-Labboune, which resulted in the injury of a number of people and caused damage to the properties. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense said it has thwarted continuous Russian attacks on the city of Avdiivka, located east of Kyiv. The commander of the Ukrainian forces in the city stated that the Russian aircraft launched between 8 and 16 missiles on an almost daily basis in Avdiivka, where 3 are still less than 1,400 people from the city's population, which numbered 32,000 people before the start of the war. In the southern Kherson region, 4 people were killed as a result of Russian bombing on the town of Bersilov, as Moscow has intensified its strikes on Kherson and the western bank of Dnieper River since Ukraine regained control over it late last year. On the other hand, the Russian Ministry of Defense said that air defenses shot down 13 Ukrainian drones over the Crimean Peninsula and 3 other drones over the Volgograd region in the early hours of this morning. Still to come in our news bulletin. Winter camps in El Boreimi governorate are witnessing increased activity as the weather is getting colder. His Excellency Dr. Saleh bin Amir Al Kharousi, Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman to the State of Kuwait, held a reception on the occasion of the glorious 53rd National Day. The ceremony was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Salim Abdullah Al Jaber Al Sabah, Minister of Foreign Affairs representing the Kuwaiti government. A number of Their Highnesses, the Sheikhs, also participated, and senior officials in the Kuwaiti government, including ministers and advisors in the Amiri Diwan and some representatives in the Kuwaiti National Assembly, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, and a group of senior figures. Kuwaiti figures and businessmen, media figures, and a number of citizens and the students residing in the state of Kuwait also joined the ceremony. The embassy of the Sultanate of Oman to the Kingdom of Bahrain celebrated the glorious 53rd National Day. The occasion was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, Deputy Prime Minister of Bahrain, and a number of ministers and senior officials of the Kingdom of Bahrain, ambassadors of the Arab and foreign countries, and businessmen in the kingdom. The Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Indonesia also held a reception on the occasion of the glorious 53rd National Day. The ceremony, which was held by His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Ahmed al-Shamfari, Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman to the Republic of Indonesia, was attended by His Excellency Budi Junadi Sadikin, Indonesian Minister of Health, guest of honor, and heads of Gulf, Arab, and foreign missions accredited to Indonesia, and a number of officials from the public and private sectors.
My speech preference is to reaffirm Oman's unwavering support. Our ambitious plans aim to produce more than 1 million tons of green hydrogen by the year.
The Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Kazakhstan also held a reception on the occasion of the glorious 53rd National Day. The ceremony, which was held by His Excellency Mohammed bin Abdullah al-Bahrani, Ambassador of the Sultanate of Oman accredited to the Republic of Kazakhstan, was attended by a number of Kazakh government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, and a number of representatives of international organizations. The ceremony included the presentation of introductory information about the Sultanate of Oman, a visual documentary on the Blessed Renaissance, and a special corner on the traditions of Omani hospitality. Consular Ahmed bin Bakhit al-Shahri charged the affairs of the Sultanate of Oman to the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. An observer delegate to the African Union held a reception on the occasion of the glorious 53rd National Day in the capital Addis Ababa. The ceremony was attended on behalf of the Ethiopian government by His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Jibo Ganga, Director General of the Middle East, Asia and Pacific Department at the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A number of Syrian officials in the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and their excellencies, the ambassadors of different countries, representatives of the international organizations in Addis Ababa, and a number of Ethiopian businessmen also attended. Winter camps in El Buremi Governorate are witnessing increased activity as the weather is getting colder. Winter camps encourage tourism as they are equipped with everything needed for adventure tourism, including cooking equipments, furniture, seating areas, and lighting, making packing easier for campers. The demand for establishing such camps has increased lately. Some of the requirements for getting a temporary permit to establish a camp include setting it up at least 200 meters away from the roads, choosing a location away from the wadis, and meeting other required regulations set by the related authorities. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan greets the chairman of the Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina on the occasion of his country's National Day and the President of Suriname on his country's independence anniversary. His Highness Sayyid Yazid bin Haytham reviews with Prince William, Prince of Wales, friendship and cooperation relations between the Sultanate of Oman and the United Kingdom. A temporary truce comes into force in Gaza Strip and dozens of Palestinians are killed and wounded by the Israeli raids hours before the truce took effect. And the Ukrainian forces confront Russian attacks on the city of Avdiivka, and Moscow shoots down Ukrainian drones over the Crimean Peninsula. With that, we have come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios. Thank you for watching and have a good night.